We're here at the world-famous Yoshi's in Oakland. Billy Cobham, who played with Palindrome, a fantastic set last night that we captured on video. Really, really enjoyed it. It was hard to focus on all the electronics that we were working with because I just wanted to listen to music. And Peter Williams, who's the artistic director of Yoshi's, and you guys have known each other for a while, and you've played here a bit. How long have you been here at Yoshi's, Peter?
I've been here 11 years.
11 years.
I started in 99, and I think the first time you played was probably 99 or 2000 with Spectrum. You did the Spectrum tour with Dean.
Yeah, with
Brown
Dean
and
Frank Gambale. Was that
No,
or was it Victor Bailey
no, it was the bass player from Spectrum.
Oh,
with the giant beard.
Lee Sklar.
Lee Sklar, right.
Yeah, the Billy Gibbons
Yes.
invitation. No, don't say it. No, don't. And who else was in the band? Oh, Gary Husband.
Gary Husband, that's right.
Yeah. Was it four of us?
Yeah,
It was just four.
Yeah.
So was going to a certain club for a musician like yourself similar to a baseball player who's, going to Cincinnati one week and L.A. another? Do you prepare differently? Is it a different experience?
It's
or
a different
ultimately, when
experience.
you're on stage and you're playing the music, it's the same thing? You're playing the same music?
It's a different experience because the acoustics are different, and therefore, and not just the acoustics, but the personality of the club. The personality of the whole social environment is very unique unto itself. But it's, I guess, for baseball players, big stadium, it's a different stadium and all, and it's different personality and social environment too. But this is much more compressed and compact, and you have more to deal with on a much more local level.
So what is the personality of Yoshi's?
Sushi.
There is this strong
This is a very serious thing about sushi here.
Well,
and everything but teppanyaki. I don't think that they make that here, right?
I don't think so.
Right. I didn't think so.
it's a great restaurant, isn't it?
Man, it's
Great food.
serious food.
All right. So besides sushi, what else characterizes Yoshi's?
Sushi. No. Sashimi. Just the character. I don't know. The jazz is very, or I should say jazz. The music in this particular venue is very unique. The presentation is very unique. The character, the personality of the music in the presentation coming off stage is very much jazz.
Now, Peter, he says that presentation is unique. How do you put together an aesthetic for the club over the years such that someone like Billy or your patrons would consider it unique?
Well, one of the things that I think makes us different from other clubs is we were built to be a jazz club. And this room was set up sonically to have great sound rather than, taking over a building and hoping that the sound's going to be good. We had engineers in silencing the trains and soundproofing the walls, and I think that's a big part of it. Plus, the owners of Yoshi's really care about the music. They want Billy to come here and really be taken care of and leave going, wow, that was really good. And so we try and make sure that the gear he needs is here and that the sound is good and that he gets a good meal and he's at a nice hotel, and it's not just him coming in and we give him a time card. Here, punch your time card. Get to work. That's and I know there are some clubs that are that way, and we're not.
Are there certain genres of jazz or a certain attitude towards jazz that you try to book, and has that evolved over time?
Well, everything's changed since I've been here. When I first started, we did 6-night runs every week. So I booked, we had 10 acts in a month. Now I've got 32 different acts a month on a slow month.
Yeah.
So it's changed just in that the economy's a little bit different, and maybe people aren't going out quite as much, or they've got so many other things, like they can sit at home and watch things on YouTube rather than come out and see live music. But for me, it's about just creative, exciting, interesting music. That's what floats my boat.
I mean, I was surprised, even to the point of being shocked, when I was meeting with you and Jana, your head of marketing, and it was pointed out, even though I was looking at the schedule, I generally come on the weekends, and I was kind of thinking maybe you have 2 acts a week, playing 2 or 3 nights a week, but you have 50 different acts between the two clubs in a month. It's almost like the entire universe of top jazz musicians in the course of the year are probably flowing through those two clubs.
Yeah,
it's a lot of acts.
It's changed a lot, and we do more than just jazz here now. We're doing R&B shows and world music and salsa and all sorts of things.
What's the difference between the San Francisco club on Fillmore, relatively new compared to this venue, and the Oakland venue?
It's bigger and shinier. It's a much bigger place. The club itself seats about almost 100 more than we do here. But actually, the two rooms themselves are very similar. You can tell they were designed by the same person. So the vibe in the rooms are slightly different. Everyone says this room has a bit more, it's a little warmer in here.
Yeah.
And I'd say that's probably true, although it's a beautiful room over there, too.
So, Billy, if you were to talk to jazz lovers worldwide and mention Yoshi's, what does that brand represent?
Probably the best jazz, or best, I shouldn't say jazz, the best performance rooms, at least in the United States, that I know of, for sure.
That's a very strong statement.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And I say that sincerely because the only rooms that I know of that might come close to competing with Yoshi's Oakland or San Francisco might be New York City, and that's two rooms in New York City, B.B. King's or the Blue Note.
Right.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just sound, the room. It's not about the administration. Just and the Blue Note is like maybe 1/3 the size of this room here.
Is that right? Really?
Yeah, it's nothing to compete.
1/3.
Yeah, I don't think much more.
Yeah.
You know, and the way it's set up, it's very cramped. The stage is big enough, although there's one incident where I played with McCoy, and he didn't like the piano. So he got very belligerent with the piano, and they changed the piano the next day to a Hamburg Steinway, and it took up the whole stage.
Yeah.
And he didn't use microphones. You could not hear drums or Stanley Clarke playing bass.
One of the first concerts I ever saw, I think it was at the
Just heard
I think it was at the Village Vanguard. My brother took me to see McCoy Tyner. In fact, the first concert I ever saw, I was about 13 years old. It was at the Fillmore East, and it was Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Steve Miller, and Miles Davis. And that was, I know you're one of the pioneers of jazz rock. That was an interesting time, and probably one of the pioneering efforts of Bill Graham to take jazz and rock and bring those audiences together. Do you think that Graham had a major role in that, and did he have an influence on you and your work?
I don't think he had a direct influence on me and what I did, but it was very important that he was there at the time. He was a definite, he controlled a group of venues that allowed us to play. And still, I mean, for us, from the jazz side, even with Miles, it was very minor in comparison to acts like the Grateful Dead, or in which he, you know, and like Larry Graham and Sly and the Family Stone and all of that stuff. We were just a little drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, looking forward to your show tonight. Peter, what's coming up for Yoshi's in 2011? Any major changes or initiatives or new ideas?
No, I'm booked almost solid through the first quarter. Have some pretty interesting stuff coming in, and hope to get Billy back in the not-too-distant future, too.
We hope so, too.
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. Well, thanks to both of you gentlemen, and we look forward to seeing you all coming back tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific time for the live show. Thanks, gents.
Bye.
What was the first jazz show you ever saw when you were?
Whoa. Sonny Rollins.